your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like. Your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like.
This is for you, Cancer. March is the month of the angelic frequencies of the gemstone Aquamarine. Your birthstone is ruby, Cancer, so what we need to do is see how these two gemstones resonate with each other. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. To contact me, you can visit www.readingsbyrosemary.com, where we provide you with all the information necessary if you'd like to ask about our spiritual consultations, our psychic astrology, Rosicrucian Kabbalah, as well as classes and our upcoming seminars. March's gemstone of Aquamarine has the light emanations of the astrology archangel Omnitziel, and your zodiac sign gemstone of Ruby has the properties of light bestowed by the zodiac archangel Muriel. Your ruling planet is the moon, Cancer. In Kabbalah, it's associated also with various types of gemstones. One gemstone that sometimes modern that's more of a modern association is moonstones. Also, pearls is something that's more traditional, and these are stones that are the ones that are used to assign and the sort of lunar energies, and also they're precious gemstones that you can use to align yourself with the energies of the planetary angel Gabriel, who is assigned to the ancient planet Luna. In Kabbalah, sun and moon's soul and Luna are associated with a planet, as a planet, because it just means wanderer anyway. And so in Kabbalah, this angel Gabriel bestows powerful emotions which come from the heart, more powerful than any logic of the mind, who, like all angelic beings, provide the human creature with varying levels of compassion, mercy, consideration, leniency, correction, and severity. So be mindful of your own power when utilizing these potent gemstones in unison with each other. Gabriel is planetary archangel of the moon, as we said, or Luna in Kabbalah, acclaimed in all Abrahamic faiths. In the prophecy of Daniel, chapter 8, verses 15 to 16, it reads, "And it came to pass, when I, Daniel, saw the vision and sought the meaning, that, behold, there stood before me, as it were, the appearance of a man. And I heard the voice of a man between Ulai, and he called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision." Then the prophet Daniel continues in chapter 9, verses 21 to 22, "As I was yet speaking in prayer, behold, the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, flying swiftly, touched me at the time of the evening sacrifice. And he instructed me, and spoke to me, and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to teach thee, and that thou mightest understand." Archangel Gabriel is also mentioned in the New Testament. We read in St. Luke's Gospel, that's chapter 1, verses 26, "And in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from God into a city of Galilee called Nazareth." In 1 Enoch, we read in chapter 9, verses 1 to 3, "And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from the heaven and saw much blood being shed upon the earth, and all lawlessness being wrought upon the earth. And they said one to another, The earth made without inhabitant cries the voice of their crying up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men, make their suit, saying, Bring our cause before the Most High." The moon is known as the attribute of God the Mother, found in Isaiah 30:26, "And the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, And the light of the sun shall be sevenfold, as the light of 7 days. In the day when the Lord shall bind up the wound of his people and shall heal the stroke of their wound. This scripture from the book of Isaiah is actually the giveaway of the secret to deciphering the Torah code. And that is done by understanding that it uses a system where you get rid of spaces between the letters, which are also numbers, giving rise to the way to accomplish the great work of immortality. Your water guardian archangel Gabriel speaks to you from your Cancer astrology archangel, who is Muriel. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Cancer zodiac angel Muriel, who resides over the crab's cardinal water, and here are his messages for you in the areas of love, money, and health. Muriel's love, rapture, and romance transmission. First, the amber angelic light frequencies of Muriel combined with exhilarating healing oscillations emanating from freshly relaxing vibratory pulses from the gemstone of Aquamarine invigorates your romantic relationships due to provisions made by divine providence through this birthstone's very privileged spiritual relationship and with the 12th house inheritance of spirituality. Enjoyment of a precise permutation of zodiac angel Omniziel's natural 12th house. It attributes, in addition to your own Cancer energies, it's going to bestow to you overflowing quantities of heartfelt personal associations with the traditional zodiac sign of Pisces because of the very enchanting, cool, and subtle light beams that sparkle forth from a gem which reserves delightful experience for the holder of such a gemstone through a refreshment of the heart chakra. And this causes a great delight in physicality via interdimensional communication made possible through harmonizing within the third eye, the crown, and the sacral chakras. Now for Muriel's money and wealth transmission, finances. Your financial affairs this month are going to expose quite an overflowing abundance. For those who spend time getting to know economic principles as well as how really to woo money's fickle spirit into a well-prepared lair. It's bringing the monies in, but you have to prepare a place for the money. It's like when a female bird is going to mate with a male bird that prepares a nest in advance, and whoever has the nicest, or the nest that the female bird feels the most comfortable in, whatever her particular species might be. But that is how you are able to get money to reproduce itself, because it is a spirit. You've heard that which is below corresponds to that which is above, and that which is above corresponds to that which is below. That's stated in the great alchemical work, the Emerald Tablet, which is attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. Now, the Emerald Tablet is talking about something that makes one think that, well, it's just, it's this way here, so it's very simple to understand that, the way it is in the spiritual realms, it's the same way in the physical, or to think it's exactly the opposite, which it's not really the case that it's so exactly the opposite, or even the same, because Keter's in Malkut, Malkut is in Keter, because there's 10 Sephirah, but then there's 4 worlds of the Kabbalah. Like Malkut, the lowest Sephirah, falls in the lowest world of Absolute, for example, and Keter, the highest Sephirah, falls within the realm of the highest world, which is Absolute. So what you have is on the ground floor, you have Asaya, which is the realm of the flesh, and the demons below. That's the whole physical realm, really, and everything below it. And then you have also, in some traditions, they call it the world of the substantial, or Olam is Hebrew, It's also just a world of physicality if you're thinking about a secular science type of approach or psychology or something. Or, it's often also just the ego, really. So that's the first world. Now it goes in the form of actually the name of God, Yud He Vav He, at least the Hebrew God. There's other religions with other God names that may have a different configuration, but for that particular, personally, we're involved in Rosicrucianism and in Catholicism, and that's a Judeo-Christian tradition. So knowing the Hebrew as a ground, as a foundation, which gets us to our next world of Yetzirah. Olam is the word for world in Hebrew. Yetzirah Olam. That's like the Sefer Yetzirah is a very important book, and you have within that book all the stories about and all the information and the diagrams regarding foundation, and that's the world of the unsubstantial and the foundation, or making plans. How you make plans to do things would be how you would associate with it if you were studying psychology. So you have Yud He Vav He. Vav is Yetzirah, and the final He, earth, being Asaya, and Yud being fire, the second He being water. And you have Absolute, or the divine unsubstantial, being for Yud, the fire principle, the king scale. Then you have the queen scale, you have the world of Bria, the archetypal world, or the world of the divine substantial, where you find angels and where you find gods and goddesses and that kind of thing. Okay? So you've got Yud Ke, Vav He, you've got fire, water, air, earth. And fire, water, air, earth, in that permutation of Yud He, Vav He, the name of God, which you've got is Aries. And this associates with the Hebrew months, or the months from calendars that use lunar associations, because Hebrew is a solar lunar calendar. It's not just lunar, and it's not just solar. So, but the associations of the zodiac signs are very much from Egypt, which Moses brought out from Egypt. He was an Egyptian prince, and it's based on a lot of the Egyptian gods and goddesses, or the Egyptian associations with this month or that month, and this sign or that sign. So just understand these are all intricate, and so the divine substantial isn't always going to produce an exact result in the substantial. You have to know what you're dealing with. Absolute, there's a way to get it to manifest in Asaya, coming down through Bria, Yetzirah, and then into the world of Asaya. Okay, now connecting to Absolute, or one's God self, which is, you find the Sefer of Kether, that's, a way to receive money or receive funds or receive, more income. That becomes ever more fun and adventurous because of where it's coming from and the freedom of that, while remaining dignified during an astrological progression where combining Moonstone for psychic ability or Ruby for healing with Aquamarine unites astrology, archangelic forces known to Muriel and Obnitziel, reviving businesses that are either large or small, with a very exhilarating force of willpower, just very strong willpower, to allow for spiritual development of your very soul, really, which is destined for prominence in the world where? The world to come. Right. Experiential divine illumination is projected from within the soul self, then being reflected back towards any individual monad based upon purpose, intent, as well as a person's attitude, always very important. The sacral, crown, and third eye chakras are really healed or even reinvigorated in celestial surroundings with March's gemstone, expecting you to endow boundless opportunities to a world fettered by unnecessary self-restriction. In this way, you're going to be able to provide immeasurable, pleasant experiences for not only yourself, but for others as well, because you're going to, people are going to come to you and ask you how they can be more free in life, how they can be less restricted and more able to express their creativity. there's just basic laws that are set in place in nature. I mean, if there's gravity and there's every other kind of law. So nature will stop you if you're doing something wrong. It will stop you. And society is a force of nature, and you will be stopped and dealt with if you're doing something that goes against nature, goes against society, whatever that may be. But if you bring your happiness from the spiritual realm and you only seek to please the Lord your God, the creator of the universe, the great alchemist of the universe, Jesus Christ, then you really can't do anything wrong, because his will is your will, and you have a higher standard for yourself and everybody else as well. For Muriel's health and fitness transmission this month, we have health centering on complementing upper supernal realms. So we're talking about the higher spiritual realms, such as the crown and the third eye chakras, through objectively manifesting situations via sacral chakra vortex assertions from divine principle towards physicality. And that's from absolute into Asaya, ascending up into more fruitful dimensions, which through well-adjusted applied chakra healing techniques are able to be timeless, everlasting, while concurrently substantial, unsubstantial, divine substantial, and divine unsubstantial. Kabbalistic assertions stating that Keter is in Malkut and Malkut and Keter find a place via 12th house attributes, since March's zodiac sign of Pisces ruling planets are concerned with both feet and the head due to correspondences with Jupiter and Neptune respectively, remembering that Jupiter associates with the sacral chakra to stabilize the entire energetic organism, expressed in 10 Kabbalistic Sephirotic dimensions. You will find the energetic frequencies of ruby and aquamarine motivating during March, causing you to feel more able to accomplish all the things that you set your mind to, but that's especially true when it comes to the areas of mind, body, and soul healthfulness. Your sacral chakra is considered to be all-important during 12th house sojourns for the principle of establishing fulcrums towards leveraging all-important, what is often thought to be hypocritical in attempts to express myriads of anxiety-producing ascending lifestyles, all that spiritual Keter of the light, mixed in with outrageously passionate, almost degrading lifestyles. So that's the realm of Absolute versus the realm of Asaya. That is Keter versus Malkut. Yin and Yang also can be used. You could say that Yang is above since it's fire, and Yin below since it's water, whatever. But you get the idea. They're simply the system, like a binary system, that's all. So in other words, aspirations for being real or being very pragmatic or very realistic might at times appear to conflict with one's very desire or ambition for one's own soul recognition of its own personal godhood. Again, that's where the dignity comes in, or the ability to express with freedom and dignity, the creative principle of Beret. Now, astrocartographic arrangements currently as well as at birth must be revealed if a holistic style of unveiling one's inner nature is truly desired. Our disclaimer: high magic should be used with all mindfulness, since powerful forces of manifestation are unleashed. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Remember to chant your divine tone of I feel, or try out the higher aspect of simply meditating on the quality of feeling, and be wise, be well, be all you are meant to be, Cancer. Thank you for joining us. Join us again